Hello and welcome back to our study of Peninei Halacha, the teachings of Rabbi Eliezer Melamed Shlita. Here we are, Yom Chamishi. Continuing our learning, please continue davening for Chayalei Tzvagan Yisrael, for Shlem L'chol P'tuei Yisrael, safety of our brothers and sisters in Eretz Yisrael. We learn each day Ili Nishmat, Seren, Daniel, Shimon ben Harav, Doron, V'Shel Shem Kam Damo. The next chapter, he's Nahagus HaTzibur Be'ez HaKriya HaTorah. Also, lotzes mibeis hakneses mishas techilas hakriya b'torah v'ad sofa. So one is forbidden to leave the sanctuary, to leave the shul, from the time that Torah reading begins until it concludes. V'gam lemi shekvar shamas kriyas Torah also lotzes. Even if someone who already heard laning is not allowed to leave. V'im yatsa harei pogeh b'chvod haTorah, because by leaving so, it's an insult to the honor of the Torah. Olav Nemar, and the pasuk tells you in Yeshayahu in the very beginning, "Va'ozvei Hashem yichlu," and those who leave and desert God shall be destroyed. Umishu murchach latzes. Let's say someone has to go out. Kagon shehasash lo omedes latzes. Let's say his ride to work, the bus, the train, etc. V'im yamtim l'siyam hakriya yafsidas hanasiya. And if he waits till the end of Torah reading, he's going to lose out on getting to work, parnas, etc. Rishoy latzes ben kriyas ola echad lechavera. Then he can go out between aliyos. She'oz Sefer HaTorah Sagur, because at least the Sefer Torah is closed. V'hapagia b'kavod HaTorah pechusa, and it's a lesser of an insult to the Sefer Torah and the kavod HaTorah. So again, if one has to leave, you should at least go between aliyos. Mitzad hadin ein chova la'amo b'meshach kriyas HaTorah. Technically speaking, from the point of view of the halacha, one is not required to stand during laning. V'yesh mahadrim la'amo, but there are those that are careful and they try to beautify the mitzvah by standing, just as at the time when the Torah was given, everyone was standing. And there are some that are strict, and at least if they're not going to stand for Torah reading, they'll stand when Baruch Hu is recited, because Baruch Hu is considered a davar shebekdusha, which requires a minyan. And generally, like when you would hear Kaddish, Kedusha, and Baruch Hu, you would stand, so the Baruch Hu in the Torah reading is no different. And according to many, you don't have to stand while the Torah is being read. And this is how the Shulchan Aruch paskins in Siman Kuf Mem Vav. The Kaf HaChaim quotes that the Arizal used to sit during Kriyas HaTorah and even during Baruch Hu. And this is the custom in many, many Ashkenazic and Sephardic synagogues, that they sit during leaning and also Baruch Hu. From the time that the Sefer Torah is open in order to be read, the Gemara in Sota Daf Lamed Tes tells us that the congregation is not allowed to speak to one another, even if it's in a Torah matter. And some allow you to speak a little bit if it's Torah matter, at least between aliyos, at least provided that your conversation, even if it's in a dvar halacha, won't continue until the next Torah reading is read. And some say that even words of Torah should not be spoken in between aliyos, and the only thing that you're allowed to do is to have some personal study that doesn't require conversation. And it's better to be strict in this, because what happens is that if you start talking words of Torah, you're going to get into a conversation. It'll be very difficult to stop when the next aliyah starts. And if you think about it practically speaking, even if a shul does mishaberachs, there's not that much time between aliyahs. So the best thing to do, honestly, is to focus on the Torah reading, to listen, to follow along, and to read the words and not engage in conversation, which can prove to be very, very challenging for a lot of people, as you can well imagine. A rabbi can answer an important shaila, an important question in between aliyas. And also the gabayim, something that relates to the davening or even the Torah reading, can speak in between aliyas. And when there is no other choice, the rabbi can answer a question that's pressing even in the middle of Torah reading if it's very, very pressing. Or the Gabayim, let's say, even in the middle of Torah reading, if they have to clarify something, and it's like getting the name of the next Ola, the person who's getting the next Aliyah, I want to make sure they get the name right. Or let's say someone thinks he's having an Aliyah, but you have to tell him he's not having an Aliyah, or anything that's really time sensitive, and even if it's in the middle of Torah reading, again, if it's for the needs of Keriat HaTorah, for the needs of shul, this will be allowed in a time of great need. But ultimately speaking, our behavior during Torah reading should be one of reverence and one of silence, in which we should listen to the Torah reading. As my teacher once said, that Hashem blessed us with one mouth and two ears, which means we should do twice as much listening as talking, which is probably a good rule in life in general. But these are the rules of Keriat HaTorah, and we should try our best to follow them. Challenging, I know. Please continue davening for Chayei Tzvah Gan Yisrael, for Shalom Chol Tzvah Yisrael. Safety of our brothers and sisters in Eretz Yisrael. Nishmat and Daniel Shemener of the Demo. Thank you so much for joining us today. Have a great day, and we'll see you here next time.